What is up, guys?
Back. Welcome
To Trap Turnover, episode 18, I think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash the like button. Turn the bell on. Ding, ding, ding.
Pranks in the hood gone wrong.
Kissing my stepsister prank. Oh no.
Gone right?
Gone.
Oh, man.
You never see those on YouTube. Gone right.
I know, it's always gone wrong. Gone sexual, gone, I don't know,
When
dangerous.
9 out of the 10 times they actually go right.
Yeah,
Like,
literally,
They
though.
stretch it all out and it's perfectly.
Pretty much, but welcome back to another one. This one's probably just more chill episode. We got a few good topics to talk about, but it's not going to be like a 2-hour banger or anything like that, but it'll be fire still. Kobe.
Hell yeah. We got a saucy one. We've got we're gonna talk a little bit about duos in
Yep.
not only the rap game but also in the NBA game. That should be fun because I feel like it's one of those like just iconic
Yeah.
thing about any activities, like the duos. Like obviously you have your GOAT and yeah.
This duo.
Come on. But yeah, you got duos in almost every activity you can
Yeah.
think of, and they're just like gods
That's
in their own special
dope.
way.
Yeah, so figure we got to highlight that in this episode.
Yes.
Starting, I guess we could probably start with that. We got a pretty big music drop in Young
Yes.
Thug. I don't even remember what the album was called. Like
It's
Slime
slime
Life
language.
Slime Language. Yeah.
Slime language.
That was. I mean, I still haven't listened to it a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's not crazy to me, but it's definitely not bad. But
Yeah.
definitely one of the most loaded albums I've ever seen feature wise, though.
Oh, I know.
Like that's stacked. That's like
Every
an NBA
single
All-Star
track.
team.
It really was.
It's like featuring Lil Baby and Uzi, Drake, Travis, Future, Gunna,
all the top,
and a bunch of underground artists I've never heard of, which is pretty cool too.
all
See
the
that he's,
trap kings.
yeah, he's got a good mix of the biggest dudes and some people we've never heard of. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's just putting his crew on. But it was pretty good drop. Probably one of the most significant ones this year so far.
Yeah.
I don't know if any, well, in the hip hop at least, because
Yeah.
I mean Justin Bieber and some other huge people have dropped. But in hip hop, I don't know if that might be the biggest album drop this year so far.
So far, yeah. I feel like we're gonna get a couple more better albums. But,
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it wasn't a terrible album.
Yeah,
And there was some songs where I was like, this is not like super great.
Yeah.
But for the bulk of it, it was like, it's about what
Yeah,
I expected.
it's enjoyable, you know.
It
It's
is
not,
enjoyable.
but it's not. It wasn't anything crazy, in my opinion, either. But I think there were some songs that are definitely skips. But there's nothing that's unbearably bad,
Right.
which is rare, especially in a 20-song album by Thug. Like you know what to expect. Maybe I have to listen to it again, but for the most part, I liked it. But there's definitely I probably have like 3 or 4 songs that I thought were pretty good, and then the rest is just kind of decent.
Yeah, that's about the same for me. Like, I really only liked the one with YNW Melly.
Yeah, that
The
was really
Travis
good.
and the Drake one were pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, there wasn't like a whole lot that stood out.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was no like sicko mode type tracks or anything, and
Right.
no feature. I'm not saying the features were bad. Like the Drake feature was all right. Travis was too, but I think they could have been better in my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe they just weren't going for some. Maybe he just wanted subtle features on it type thing.
I think so too.
I mean, none of them were like that Drake verse compared to like sicko mode verse or something. It was
yeah.
tiny compared to it, but it's definitely not the worst thing. Sometimes you want more diversity among the features on one track instead of one just carrying it. But yeah, there wasn't like any particular, like the Travis one I felt could be better. Drake one was
Yeah. I
was
felt like
alright
they could
too.
all use.
Yeah, they could all use a bit of spunk to
something.
them, but they definitely were not bad by any means. Catchy, good songs.
Yeah.
The beats were crazy.
Beats. Yeah. Beats.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Some bouncy.
Did we know he was gonna drop, and I just wasn't paying attention?
I have
or-
no clue. I'm sure people probably knew, but I just don't really follow Young Thug that much. But that's too big of an album to not really pay attention to once it is out.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, just looking at it at first, like,
Yeah, just
how many tracks is it? Like 20.
it's like 20, just everyone loaded with a feature. Like if you you don't even have to listen to it, but you should definitely pull up. Anybody watching this, pull up your Spotify or Apple Music and just search Slime Language 2, I think, and just scroll through it and just look at all the features on it. Like, it's actually absurd.
There had to be at least 40 or 50.
Yeah, it was literally crazy. But yeah,
it got the job done.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, you want to just start talking duos?
Honestly, because we're talking hip hop right now. So, and then you texted me about this topic a few days ago of trying to think of like some of our favorite duos in the rap game. Mm-hmm. But by duo, we don't mean like an actual group or band per se. Like we wouldn't be able to say like Outkast or Earth Gang or Ray Shremmer, like any of those ones that are official duos. It's more rather two artists that have collabed frequently that we really like together, I guess. Yeah. But not necessarily a part of like a group, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And there's definitely a good amount of those.
Yes.
In the rap game, so it's honestly hard. It's hard to narrow it down. I haven't really even thought about it. I'm just kind of gonna let it come naturally. But
I know, yeah. Same.
Honestly, yeah.
There's a couple though that stand out.
Yeah.
I think. Do you think you could identify like a couple of your like favorites and a couple that like aren't necessarily your favorites, but they're like just like legends?
When they're together, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think one of the biggest ones that comes to mind for me is Drake and Future.
Yeah.
I mean, they dropped a whole project together, and I'm hoping they'll drop another one. But I mean, they've collabed even outside of the album on a good amount of tracks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And they always do their thing. And
I know.
That's a fire dude. But I'm like, I don't really ever listen to Future by himself that much. I do listen to Drake more, but I'm not like a crazy Drake listener either. But when they're together, that's it.
It's always
got that on repeat.
It's always a hit. It's always top charts.
Seriously though, that's probably one of the biggest ones in terms of like just pure like hype that I can think of.
I think,
but I have ones that I probably prefer. But go on. Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is I think why they're so successful is because Future brings like typically like the raw, natural like trap aspect of it. He always brings that, so he attracts that crowd.
That's a good point.
And then just Drake doing whatever he does in general is going to attract a whole lot of attention.
Facts.
So when they do both of that, it's a really hard track, but it's also like really well put together by Drake.
It's not like them just. I guarantee none of the tracks they do together is as simple as them writing verses and just going for it. Like you can tell they're structured really well usually.
Yeah. Balanced.
And you see different styles of them. You have tracks that are hard trap ones. Perfect for Future, but then you hear Drake do his thing on it.
Exactly.
And then vice versa. Sometimes there'll be a more low-key song that Drake would hit, but Future does a thing on it. Like I think they definitely bring out the best of each other when they're on tracks together.
Yes.
And they have such different styles, but when it's meshed together, it just makes a great project or song.
Yeah. That's like what I was about to say. Like they can both do any part of the song. Like they can both do a verse, both do a chorus, both do
literally they can do everything.
And do it well too. Like,
for real.
Like there's not, I wouldn't even say there's more of like Future verses than there are Drake verses when they're together. Like it's like really balanced.
It's balanced.
They take turns with the chorus and the verses and stuff, which I think is dope because it's not, when you do that, it'll get really repetitive and it'll start to sound the same. But none of their tracks are like, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm tired of hearing this. Okay, you know. It's always something different with them. So that's what I really like about them.
Yeah, very good duo. Did you have any huge ones that come to mind in terms of duos?
I was also, well, yes, I do. But I was also going to throw in producers in there because there are some producer-rapper duos that are insane. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, it's not doesn't just have to be rappers because I can almost think of like as many good rapper ones and there is actual rappers. Yeah.
Yes. But the other one I was thinking of was, Kanye and Rick Ross for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dude,
just a classic.
They've had so many classics.
Devil in a New Dress is probably my favorite song right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, they have several together.
They do.
And they
really do.
It's something about Rick Ross on a Kanye type beat. It's
his voice sounds like butter.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
It's perfect.
I know. But
You can almost also say Rick Ross and Drake too. I feel like they've had a good amount of tracks too.
They have. What was their most recent one?
The freestyle one.
Oh yes. The really recent
what was
one.
it? What was it called? Lemon thing, pepper, something. I don't remember. Something like that. Some weird freestyle. Yeah, that was fire.
That was fire.
But no, I back to that though. Kanye and Rick Ross is a really good choice because I feel like in Dark Twisted Fantasy, like the album, I feel like there's several tracks with Rick Ross.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think there was 2 or 3.
Yeah, which is crazy. That was a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm. That one's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got another? I got a couple more, Mike.
I can probably think of a couple. I mean, I would say J. Cole and Kendrick, but they really have only done like 2 things together, and we've never seen them both do their full thing.
I know that's the beauty.
So
of them, though.
That's one that I anticipate, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But that's one that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
For obvious reasons, don't even need to elaborate on that. I do like, since we were talking about them last week, Cardi and Uzi together on a track, and they've had several together too. That's a really good one in terms of like really modern music. Like,
oh yeah,
everybody will get hyped to a track with them both on it because they both have such like they're both really different, but they're both kind of in that same section of hip hop in terms of the type of music they're making. So it's just like taking the 2 dudes on the top of that really new sound and putting them together.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, that's fantastic. I really hope they make more stuff together.
I'm worried now though because Playboi Carti wasn't on Whole Lotta Red.
I know. That was so weird.
So I was like, it kind of threw me off. Cardi was on Eternal Atake too, right?
I
don't
don't actually remember. But yeah, that is kind of worrying me. I hope they're still bros because hopefully that just means they have a whole project in the works, so they didn't want to put any songs on their albums. That's what I'm hoping.
That's ideal, for sure.
I guess we'll see. That one's pretty good. One big one. This dude can go off of a lot of different artists, but this one is actually more of a artist producer one. That'd be Travis Scott and Mike Dean or Wonder Girl. We can put them together because that is just like, ooh. That is probably my one. That might be my favorite. I don't know. I almost want to say that'd be my favorite artist and producer combo is Travis and Mike Dean / Wonder Girl. They just have a perfect sound with that. Style of hip hop. You know?
They just both know exactly what they're going for,
right?
And can put it all together perfectly.
Dude. Just off on a little tangent though. I saw Mike Dean was live streaming on Twitch like a few days ago. And I click on it, and there's like probably 10K people watching, and it's just him in his dark studio with like 5 keyboards, and he's just jamming out on these synthesizers, playing like a whole Travis Scott bridge while everybody in the chat is just like going crazy. This dude's just jamming out, like performing a whole masterpiece. He's throwing in those like thick synth basses and stuff, and doing like the whoa whoa whoa. It was, bro. Next time he streams, I'll let you know. It's a good stream to pop into.
Does he stream on Twitch?
Yeah, he was live like a couple times last week of just him making music.
Dang.
Yeah.
I need to hop on that thing.
You should. It's a vibe.
That's kind of like a new thing now. Is producers live streaming.
Yeah. Do you know Kenny Beats?
Yeah.
He got so big this year just from his live stream. He gets a lot of viewers, and he does these beat battles. Like he hasn't done them too recently, but. Like peak quarantine, he would have them like every other week, and he would just put so many producers in the spotlight just from them winning his beat battles, and he would give away like really nice equipment and plugins for like the top 3, and he has his chat like vote for which are the best. Like it's actually a really dope system. So like he went crazy on Twitch. Nick Mira, he streams too. I think it's really cool.
That's insane. I know. I see a bunch of TikToks of Dead Mouse. That one kind of dance pop guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He live streams often. And he was kind of one of the first ones to do it. And there's always something funny going on. But
that's sick.
I need to start watching those.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, that's a good duo that I can think of. I mean, you got any good ones?
Who do you think is Metro's best second half?
Oh, that's a good one. Metro's best second half. There is.
I think I have my answer.
I have 2 that I'm thinking of. Wait. in terms of just the amount of stuff they put together, it's definitely Savage.
Yeah.
Because like they put out 2 albums together. But in terms of my absolute favorite with him,
it's a tough question.
Somebody who's done at least like 5 tracks with a Metro. Honestly, Future's up there.
Oh,
I think the reason I like Future on Metro stuff so much is because like Metro makes those dark beats, and Future's voice fits that so well.
Oh yeah.
So I think I want to say Future. I mean, I know Metro did a few things in What a Time to Be Alive. He did Mask Off. I think he's done a couple other ones. Like I don't know, he's Future on Jumpman. Like all no. I think Future just kills those beats.
Yes. He's got a very unique voice, but it's very like it could go on very few. I feel like very few types of beats. Like he doesn't have as much range, or I guess he doesn't have as much freedom with the beats.
Yeah, Future couldn't do like a Ian Dior like rock guitar beat or something. Like that would sound horrible, but in the beats that he can hit, it is on a different level.
Just a seamless connection.
Yeah,
him.
It's like he literally like his voice is connected with the beat. Yeah. As corny as it sounds, like
no, it really
straight
is.
Up like
it really. That's why they're so good at it. You know.
Did you have anybody else in mind in terms of Metros?
Metros I was gonna say probably 21 Savage.
Yeah. Very good answer too.
But yeah, I like your answer with Future though. That's spot on.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, those 2 are top in terms of that. But one's fire.
Yeah. Another duo that we were talking about is Gunna and
Lil Baby.
No.
Thug.
Well,
Young Thug.
yes.
Well, yeah, him too.
Yes.
But Gunna and Young Thug, yeah.
Yes. Gunna
because
and Young Thug.
I don't know the history between those 2 in terms of like, if I think they're both from Atlanta, and I want to say it seems like Young Thug kind of helped Gunna get bigger.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that for sure because I don't know, but it seems like he's helped him on his come up, and you can tell Gunna's really like inspired by Young Thug because Young Thug was one of the first dudes to have that Atlanta sound with the super mumbly voice and that da 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 type flow.
Yes.
Like Young Thug was doing weird stuff with his voice like 10 years ago. Like this dude is a pioneer of trap music, right?
Yes.
And you can definitely tell Gunna gets a lot of his vibe from Young Thug.
Yeah.
Like I almost want to say it's like a rap mentor type thing. But and again, I'm not sure. But just with the amount of stuff they've done and how they both do their thing, like great one. And we saw a lot of Gunna in that Thug album yesterday too.
Yeah.
There's probably at least 5 tracks he was on.
Yeah. And the thing I like about them is I know they're gonna stick together for a while.
Yeah.
Like I really don't think that those guys are gonna go their own ways anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, and I think it also helps that Gunna is like, I'm gonna sound white, but he's with the slime. Like you know what I'm saying?
He's with
like
the slats.
He's a slat. So.
That's so funny. But no, you're right. And dude, both those artists feature on so many tracks, just in general. So like they're gonna be around for a long time, dropping random tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them we're probably gonna miss, but a lot of them will hit too. But yeah, no, that's a great choice.
Who else? There was another one.
I have one that they haven't even done enough stuff together for it to be like a sure thing one, but it's one that I really want more of is Kid Cudi and Travis too.
Oh yeah. I anticipate a project from them within the next 2 or 3 years.
I heard rumors that it's like a thing that is happening, but I think we can expect it in 2 or 3 years.
The Scots,
the
Through the Late Night are insane,
crazy songs. But
especially when you find the YouTube channels that do the slowed and reverb version.
It hits so differently.
If you haven't, take your favorite trap song and then look up slowed plus reverb on YouTube.
Maybe throw in a 432 HZ there.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like a chopped and screwed. I don't know. You can find it, bro. If you're just trying to vibe at night.
Yeah. It'll take you to another dimension.
You got to search Travis Scott slowed and reverb.
Yes.
432. And the 90210. That one hits so different.
And Maria.
My gosh, I remember that one's like slowed and ultra reverb 432 slow. Oh my gosh, that one is a trip.
Oh my god.
Yes. No, that's I don't know. That's fun.
But But yeah, anyone else?
I know there's so many more. But
oh yeah. Well, also
know.
one of my favorites, Tyler the Creator and A$AP Rocky.
Oh yeah.
And Tyler the Creator and Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay, gotcha. I haven't really gotten into that side of rap yet, so I can't really speak on it. But I have seen their names in a lot of tracks together, so that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. It was kind of funny. I was thinking about it. I was kind of thinking about Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
I think this was last night or the night before, and he really, really blew up with, Earthquake.
Yeah.
That blew him up crazy. So I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, people probably hadn't heard of him before that track.
Yeah.
And so when they go and like search his name and look at all of his old stuff, and they start hearing like Yonkers, and, just some whack rap music.
He was crazy.
They're probably like, what the heck? Because Earthquake is nothing like the old Tyler.
So absolutely different.
Nothing.
But, yeah, it's so funny.
But that's another thing I really like about him is his versatility.
Yeah, right. He can do a lot of different genres and stuff.
But yeah, him and A$AP Rocky, they have a couple tracks together and a bunch of like just kind of freestyles all over YouTube and stuff. Just like old videos of them too.
That's so sick. So they have a lot of history.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Like you were saying, like on that side of rap, they're like
the top tier ones. Yeah,
top tier. It's kind of like I almost want to say it's like skateboard rap. Like that's what skaters listen to. It's like
yeah, you're right. It's like
that Odd Future and
the people who like wear like trying to think of the outfit designed for
people that work
at Zumiez. They got thrifted jeans and then like overalls on or something.
Yeah, and the beanies, the little tiny beanies.
It's like the alternative people.
Yes. Yeah. Basically that kind of people.
Yeah. They're like
the top. The alternative people that are still like a little bit too cool to get into alternative music.
Yeah. No, that's a really good description of it though.
But they don't miss a whole lot.
Yeah, that's sick. I'll have to check them out more.
Who else? I would probably say X and Ski Mask.
Oh yeah, it's so unfortunate that we didn't get to hear even more of them, even though they did have some good, like a good few of collabs.
It just makes those fews so much more
right. I would have wanted to see them drop like a little EP together or something like that. Of just this crazy scream tracks. That's a really good duo there.
Yeah. I don't know. You got any more? Those are kind of
we've covered favorites. Like a lot of the big ones in different sections of rap, so it's like I mean, there's definitely more, but those are some of probably our favorites, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoy those the most. I find myself
trying to think if there's any more. I just not any of them really listen to right now, at least, but there's definitely a lot.
There's definitely a bit. Should we transition?
Transition.
I think I'm gonna say that every time. I'm so used to it.
Oh gosh.
Duos in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, is there any NBA news you want to talk?
I guess we can give. I guess like a little shout out to LaMarcus Aldridge for having a good, successful career.
Yes.
We have our history of emotions with that dude because he definitely left the Blazers, but at the same time, I was never too mad because I think he gave us like his prime years. So
I really think he did too.
So he overall very successful, all-time underrated player. I think.
Yes.
Yes. He was never on like a true contending team up until like the Nets, but I mean he's got to be up there, in terms of like the past 10 years is one of the best big men,
Yeah.
And it's cool how his older style of game still was relevant. To some extent in today's league. You don't see a lot of big power forwards, playing like that.
So I didn't look into it that hard. Did he is he retired? Like he's done? He's not playing anymore?
Because he apparently had like an irregular heartbeat in that game against the Lakers, maybe, or in some game, like some weird heartbeat thing. And he said afterwards he's just like, that was the scariest thing I've ever been through. And he's like, jeez. It's just not worth it to me to keep playing. So it's tough. It's
not like the Nets really need
him. And he got, I mean, he's It would have been a lot worse if it was like the beginning of his career type thing, hadn't experienced his prime yet. But I think he was coming to that time anyways, I'm guessing.
He had a great run though.
And I guarantee if the Nets win a ring, he'll get one this year still. Because I know that happened with like DeMarcus Cousins on the Lakers, and he didn't even play like a minute for them. So
I know.
They'll definitely get Aldridge one. So he could still get a ring. So that's good.
Still could do.
But yeah, is there any other news?
Not really. Norman Powell had that game winner.
That was nice. Blazers have had my emotions everywhere lately. Not super happy about our play recently. I mean, that was a good game. That was a good one. We didn't have Damian.
Decent game.
But yeah, nothing crazy. But to duos though.
Back to the duo conversation.
Should we start with some of our favorite? I'm trying to think if we should do ones from the past, like all time, or start with like current ones and then maybe work our way to.
Yeah, we'll start with our favorite current ones.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I don't have a whole lot.
You know, one that I never really realized was such a good duo up until this year was, well, I mean, I did, but not to this extent, was Steph and Draymond. It's almost like they, even though like him and Clay were the Splash Bros, like that's the duo you think of when you think of like Steph's guy, but it's almost like Draymond is low-key just as much of an important, he honestly is just as much of an important piece to Curry's game than Clay is. If you watch the game, it's very, evident. I mean, in the game that Curry hit like 11 threes in 3 quarters a couple of days ago, Draymond had 16 assists. And like 90% of those were just to Curry. Like, at this point, they played together for so long that like just those two know how to destroy another team's offense.
Well, and the thing with them too is they cover so much of the basketball court.
Yeah, right.
Like Steph is everything. Like Steph can cover the whole court, and Draymond's obviously his main focus is in the paint, which he does rather well.
And his defense is, he gets.
Yeah.
A while ago, he said he called himself one like the. I don't know if he called himself the best defender of all time or one of the best, and he was getting clowned on. And I'll preface this by saying I do not think he's the best defender of all time.
Yeah.
But people were not giving him enough credit though, because it's not even just his individual defense. What it is his whole IQ on the defensive end. He knows where everybody should be.
Yes.
He's a savant of defense, pretty much. He knows where everybody on his team should be. He holds all of them accountable. He makes mistakes too, yes, obviously. Yeah. But for the most part, he's one of the most. He's like a defensive. If there's a defensive MVP award, I guess that's just DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year, which he's got before. It's just he's such an important piece to their defense. Like when he's on the floor, everybody on the floor is just locking teams down.
Yes. Yep.
So he's very important to that team, and it's like what he lacks in offense, Curry's got him more than covered. And then vice versa too. Curry's not known for being a very good defender.
Yeah.
And Draymond.
But that's why they work so well together. Is because
mesh,
well, and going back to his IQ is he always knows where to get the ball. And I mean, he has his moments where he dribbles it down and loses it.
Yeah, but
he's got to try.
I didn't even talk about his offense and his playmaking. I just other than his defense, he's an incredible passer. And although he's not known as like himself being a great scorer, like he doesn't shoot a lot. He's not a great shooter or finisher. Like he's not bad, but
definitely got some of the best court vision in the league.
100%. And he doesn't as much as I used to hate him, like he was probably the most hated player in the NBA for a while back in prime Warriors. Yeah. And still a lot of people don't like him. I only really realized in the past year or two how good he actually was. So I honestly think he does not get nearly enough credit for how important of a player he is to that team.
And it's not even necessarily how good he actually is, but just how valuable he is to the team.
That's exactly it. Him individually as a player is not very good, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be like, Draymond's only good because he's got crazy talent teammates around him, right? But at the same time, that is very true, right? But at the same time, he also makes them so much better.
He does.
I mean, Curry can still drop 30 regardless, right? But Draymond makes it probably twice, at least twice as easier for Curry to get.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a whole game of Curry creating his own step-back threes or whatever, and he can hit those. Yeah. Or it's a game where Draymond just hits screens, finds it in the right spot, and it's wide open. Like,
exactly.
He's so important. I don't think the Warriors, if we're talking about the days before Kevin Durant, I do not think they have any. I don't even know if they make the finals if they don't have Draymond.
I'd be skeptical.
Because Steph and Clay is such a good duo, but they needed Draymond on that team. They're all so important to it.
Oh yeah.
But I guess just back to the present now. that Clay's out, we're kind of, it sucks. I'm so excited for him to come back. But right now we're seeing how well Steph and Draymond work.
Yeah.
And we never really saw that as much before because we never really realized it with Clay and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and another thing about Draymond is just kind of how he plays the game. He allows these big-time players, Steph, Clay, and KD, to do their own thing and really play their own game while he's getting 10-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, and probably 10-plus assists as well.
3 blocks, 5 steals. Like,
yeah. He's all over the place.
He does everything.
He's like, I would say, more of a team captain sometimes than Steph.
I think he just straight up is. And that's not a knock on Curry. Curry's like the leader of that team in terms of like their superstar and their offensive player, right? But I think Draymond's the true like anchor to that team, if that makes sense.
Curry might be the brain, Draymond's the backbone.
Yeah, exactly. Draymond's like, that's a great way to put it.
But yeah,
that's
a great duo.
That's probably one of my favorite ones to watch right now.
Yeah.
What else? How's there been?
Dame and CJ is always fun.
I'm liking Harden and Kyrie too.
Yes.
Really fun to watch. Who would have thought that would work so well, right? A lot of people didn't think it would work. But I mean, we've seen how it is now, and that is a team that contends. Like, and that's just like the games where KD isn't playing, but when they're all together, it's nuts. But that's a good duo.
Yes.
Honestly, lately, not the whole season, but as of like the past couple months, Westbrook and Beal have been pretty good to watch too.
Oh yeah.
Like, the Wizards still suck, but like they're a fun duo because Westbrook's back to averaging a triple-double now. He's having a pretty good season, but it's not really being super talked about just because of the team he's on.
Yeah.
But him and Beal are definitely fun to watch.
Yes, always.
You got any others?
I really like Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Oh, yeah, I should have thought of that.
I like...
So good.
They're pretty similar players, honestly. Like, I would say the only main difference is the difference between playmaking, Chris Paul's playmaking and Devin Booker's shooting. But, I'm kind of talking more about kind of how they handle the ball.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of how just how they function on the court. That's
fair. They got a lot of offensive presence, like, and Chris Paul's more of like a playmaker, like you said. But I mean, they both got spicy mid-range game.
They do
for sure. But that's a really good duo. I mean, they're in terms of like power rankings or something like that. I think the Suns are either number 2 or number 1 right now in the whole league. Yeah, like Chris Paul. Obviously, props to Devin Booker. He's clearly gotten better, but I think Chris Paul really like helped transform that team to literally a contender on paper right now.
Yeah, that's
so crazy.
That's crazy, and he's old too.
Yeah,
he's like for the NBA. He's
literally so old.
He's very old,
but he's so good.
It's just the way he plays his game. He was never like an insanely explosive player, so he's been able to preserve his body.
Yeah,
and still be able to get these moves in, and
seriously, he's got sneaky handles too. Like he'll break you. And he's probably the best. My opinion, probably the best passer in the NBA right now.
He was one of the smartest guys in the NBA.
Easily, yeah. And he still plays defense too, even though he's old and washed. Like, he's just one of the best point guards of all time.
I've always loved Chris Paul. I always loved the short point guards.
Yeah,
but he's
like 5'11", 6 feet. Yeah. That's just like us.
Yeah, and he's still dunking.
Yeah,
he's still dunking.
I could not believe that dunk in the All-Star game.
I know.
That was like my favorite play. I did not know he was getting up like that, dude. And he caught that easy, 2 hands too. This dude's like 36 years old, 5'11" or whatever, and he's doing that. Like, pfft.
That's gnarly, dude.
You gotta love it. That was a great play.
You gotta love it. But yeah, I like that duo.
That's a great one.
I don't like Kawhi and Paul George. I think that's a terrible duo.
Yeah, they've been all right lately, but honestly, after the playoffs last year, I just don't really have hope.
Yeah.
And that, nor do I want to have hope. It's Lakers all day over them.
I feel like there's another.
I guess I don't know who you're gonna say.
I was gonna say Jamal Murray and Jokic.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know.
That one's pretty.
I mean, they're pretty darn good together.
Honestly, who was I gonna say? Simmons and Embiid have been pretty good this year too. That's always pretty fun to watch too.
What else you got? You got Tatum and
Brown. That's a fire duo.
That is a
They're
great
they're
duo.
both so good at this point. Like that's probably one of the offensively like most powerful duos in the league right now.
Yes.
Like both dudes over 6'7" who can just drop 30 every game. Like it's crazy.
What else you got? You got.
I was gonna say like Jimmy, but
I was gonna say,
he doesn't really have a specific like. He just works well with everybody. Like,
well,
there's
on
no
the Heat.
Jimmy and Bam. Jimmy and Bam.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, true. On the Heat. Yeah, that's fair. I guess Bam will be his duo. That's a fun duo.
But I mean, there's not.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
What about all time?
All
What about
time?
the old guys? Give me your top
Okay.
three. I could give you a top three.
I could. Yeah, I think the most. This is easily a top 3 duo of all time. The most like fun and dominant one is definitely Kobe and Shaq.
Yes.
Because like
Yep.
back at that point, that was before Kobe's prime. Shaq was pretty much like arguably the better player at that point, and that's crazy. That even before that wasn't even as good as it could have been. You know, if they'd stick together for a few more years, they would have won more rings. Like that is just unstoppable. That one's got to be up there. It's just so unbelievably fun to watch those highlights of them.
Who else? You got.
There's obviously Jordan and Pippen too. That's probably
Yeah.
like in terms of greatness, that's got to be like
just-
number 1.
Yeah.
But
legendary.
for me, this is no shot at Pippen. He's still fun to watch, but most of the fun of that duo is just Jordan.
I know.
Whereas Kobe and Shaq is like a 50-50 fun to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for Jordan and Pippen, it's like 80-20, you know?
Yeah.
But no knock on Pippen. He's an NBA legend, but Jordan
Mm-hmm.
just himself was so much fun to watch. But that's up there.
Well, I'll give you a trio.
Yeah.
Bosh, Wade,
Oh,
and LeBron James.
Yeah, that one's like the well, I guess not. I forgot about the Warriors with KD,
Yeah.
Curry, all those, but that was probably one of the most iconic like ones of the past. Honestly, not even the past decade, like all time. Honestly, like
That was one of the first
straight super teams.
stacked
Yeah.
like obviously you had the Jordan, Pippen,
Yeah.
Rodman, and all that.
Yeah.
Those guys and stuff.
Yeah.
But like they weren't doing it as much as they're doing it today.
No.
Getting 3 superstars on a team.
Yeah.
So that was insane to watch.
Yeah, and this one's a bit of a throwback. Magic and Kareem too. I haven't watched enough of them to really be like that's one of my favorites, but
Exactly.
that's one of the best. That's in my opinion also another top 3 duo of all time. Both of those players are arguably top 5 players of all time.
Yes.
Together like that was crazy. I think they got like 3-4 rings together or something. I don't know.
You think that's the best duo in history?
In terms of pure talent, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I
You
would
could-
agree.
I think Jordan's better than all of them, but Pippen is not as good as, Kareem or Magic. And Kobe and Shaq, I would want to put at number 1, but we never saw both of them in their primes together.
Yes.
But it's like I guess that Magic Kareem one, Kareem was past his prime at that point too, but I think that one in its pure dominance. I think that's got to be my bet. Like just out of pure skill, like best one of all time. Did Larry Bird ever? I don't think anybody ever crazy good, but I think he had a.
He didn't play with Bill Russell, did he?
Nah. No. I guess this team too is fire. He was the Pistons with OG Isaiah Thomas and who was there? Who was that? Bill Laimbeer, was that the one? Or no, there's another guy. No, who's the other guy?
That was the big white guy,
Yeah,
though.
Laimbeer, he was a menace too. There's another one that was like a. I don't know. That's the bad boy. That's probably.
It was the guy that did that, right? I'm thinking of.
I think.
Jeez,
Bro, it's making me mad. Who was the guy he played?
Isaiah Thomas and.
I gotta check.
Why do I want to say Dominic Wilkins?
Bad boy, dude. Like Laimbeer was on the roster, but he's not the duo I'm thinking of. Yo, load. Wasn't Rodman on that team for a while too? I don't think he was. I don't think he was like as good though at that point.
He was on that team though. Dog. Who was Isaiah Thomas with?
Isaiah Thomas and I don't know who it was. I honestly couldn't even find it. I mean, if I looked more, I could, but I just don't know. It was somebody, but that team's probably like one of the most iconic teams of all time, the Bad Boy Pistons. The team that gave Michael Jordan trouble.
Yes.
Like there was an actual beef. Like I remember hearing like in the All-Star game, Isaiah Thomas and all the old veterans agreed to not pass it to Jordan the whole game.
Yeah.
Like
I remember that.
That was a rivalry, dude. Like that's one of like the most like gritty teams of all time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best like defensive team. Like they're dirty too. Like
Yeah.
they were not afraid to just mess you up. Like
You should watch the Last Dance episode.
oh, I need to.
It talks about that.
I need to watch the Last Dance.
There's a lot of crazy
I watched
stuff
the
that
first
went down
episode.
behind the scenes of
Oh,
all of
I'm
that.
excited.
with
That was when
Jordan and
there's
Isaiah Thomas.
really, there was just like that was like a true rivalry.
Yes.
That would be a good time to be alive.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's got to be up there.
That's all that I can really think of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's definitely more, but those are like our favorites.
Yeah. I agree. Well,
Who would you say your all-time favorite is?
all-time favorite duo. NBA?
Yeah, not even it doesn't have to be the best, just who's your favorite.
You know,
Yeah?
I might say Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Oh.
Or Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan even.
Oh, dude. That probably brought some of the best highlights.
That was just
couple of years, Lob City was like the most exciting time to go on YouTube and look at highlights too.
I don't know how many times I've seen DeAndre Jordan put his balls in Brandon Knight's face in that one dunk.
And the fact, I know, I've probably seen that dunk 50 times at least, dude.
At least.
Blake, the crazy thing was like two of the best, like most aggressive big man dunkers we have like ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like the type of ones who can jump and get full contact and still smash it on somebody. Like Blake Griffin, when he would have that pick and roll with Chris Paul would throw him the bounce pass and you catch it, jump off two, and just crush.
Take it back and then throw it through the rim.
Literally throw it through the rim and like still send the dude flying. Like that. That's a real Chris Paul and Blake Griffin or DeAndre. That's a really good one. I didn't even think of them. Lob City was different.
That was different.
That's a good one. They had so many crazy plays.
I think that was my favorite.
I respect that. It was a fun
Iverson didn't really have any crazy teammates, did he?
No, he had young when he played with Melo is when Melo was young and he was old, so it wasn't like that's still a sick duo though.
Yeah,
that's a really sick duo.
That was sick.
I don't think Dirk ever really had anybody crazy either.
So I was thinking,
which is so crazy that he won a ring.
Imagine Dirk and Luka,
bro,
on the same team.
They
would put up 50 together. They would average 50 points together.
Yeah,
easily.
That team dominates. That's crazy.
But yeah, I think that's about all we got.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just chilling this
We're
episode.
chilling.
Say
Nothing
18.
crazy.
We'll do something crazy for 20.
Yeah, I like that.
We're gonna start planning that one soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go out into public and be like, "What's your NBA hot take?" And
oh,
like
that would be really dope. That would be actually sick.
Go to the streets of P-Town. I don't know. We might get killed, but
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We got a good episode next week coming too. We got a guest. That'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Anything else you want to say? Check out our Instagram if you haven't. He just posted. We just posted actually on it a clip from last episode with Sam.
Yeah.
Pretty sick that we got our first like little footage thing there.
Top 1 episodes ever.
Best episode so far. But other than that, I think we're good. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy. Peace.